Chapter 1. How a Simple Boy Became a Legend. Hello, dear friends. Welcome to this story about a man who changed the world. Today, we will learn about Mahatma Gandhi, a simple man from India who became a great leader. In this story, we will not only learn history, but we will also practice English together. You will hear simple sentences, and you will see how small choices can make a big difference. Imagine a young boy, born in a small town in India, living a quiet life. He was not rich, not famous, and not strong like a hero in stories. He went to school, helped his family, and followed simple rules. This boy, Gandhi, could have lived an ordinary life. He could have worked quietly, learned a small job, and stayed in his town. But something inside him was different. He wanted to help people, to fight for fairness, and to make the world better. At first, his life was normal. He studied, played, and learned like other children. But one thing made him special. He always asked questions. Why is this unfair? He thought. Why do some people suffer while others have everything? These small questions grew bigger over time. They shaped his mind and gave him courage. We will see how this simple curiosity led to extraordinary change. Now think about yourself. You may feel small or that your actions do not matter. But Gandhi shows us something important. Even a quiet life can grow into something amazing. He started as one boy in one town. He faced many difficulties. He made mistakes. He was afraid at times. But he never gave up. Step by step, he learned, he worked hard, and he helped others. In this story, we will follow Gandhi from his early life to his great achievements. We will see the contrast between his ordinary beginnings and the huge impact he made on India and the world. We will feel his struggles, his hopes, and his victories. And while we follow his journey, we will also learn English, one simple story at a time. By the end of this video, you will understand how a single person, even from humble beginnings, can change history. You will also learn new words, simple sentences, and ways to express ideas about courage, fairness, and determination. So, let us begin our journey. Let us meet the young Gandhi, a boy who dreamed of making the world a better place. He did not start as a hero. He started as a boy, just like you or me. But his small steps became giant steps for millions of people. Now, we will see how it all began, and how those early lessons shaped the man who changed India. Chapter 2. Early Life and Childhood. Hello, friends. Welcome to the next part of our story. Now, we will learn about Gandhi's early life and childhood. This is where his journey began. Even small children can learn big lessons from the life of a great man. Today, we will see how Gandhi's character started to grow long before he became famous. Mahatma Gandhi was born in a small town called Porbandar. Porbandar is in the west of India, near the sea. The town was quiet, with narrow streets and small houses. People knew each other, and life was simple. There were no big schools or factories. There were small markets, temples, and the sound of waves from the sea. Gandhi grew up in this calm town, surrounded by his family. His father, Karamchand Gandhi, was an important man in the town. He worked in the government and helped people with small problems. He was respected, but not famous outside Porbandar. His mother, Putlabai, was very kind and very wise. She taught Gandhi important lessons every day. She taught him honesty, patience, and respect for others. These lessons were small, but they became the foundation of his life. One story tells us about young Gandhi and honesty. When he was a little boy, he wanted sweets very badly. One day he took a sweet without asking. He felt happy for a moment, but soon he felt guilty. He knew it was wrong. He ran to his mother and said, "I took the sweet. I am sorry." His mother smiled and said, "It is good that you tell the truth. Honesty is more important than sweets." From that moment, Gandhi promised himself to be honest, no matter what. Gandhi also learned patience from his mother. Life in a small town was slow. People waited for rain, for the market, for letters. His mother taught him, "Do not hurry and do not be angry. Wait, think, act with care." Young Gandhi listened. He learned to control his anger and to think before he acted. These lessons seem simple, but they helped him later when he faced difficult problems. Gandhi had brothers and sisters, and they played together in the small streets of Porbandar. Sometimes they argued. Sometimes they laughed and ran around the markets. Gandhi was quiet and observant. He liked to watch people, to notice small things and to think about them. Even as a child, he was curious. He wanted to understand the world. At school, Gandhi was a good student. He learned reading, writing, and mathematics. But he was shy. He did not like to speak much in class. Still, he always tried to do the right thing. He respected his teachers and his friends. He learned discipline, and he learned that small actions like finishing homework or helping friends make a difference. Even in a small town, Gandhi saw problems. Some children were poor. Some families struggled to eat every day. He saw unfairness and wanted to help, but he was just a boy. Still, he learned from these moments. He learned to feel for others. He learned kindness. He learned that helping others is important, even in small ways. This quiet childhood in Porbandar shaped Gandhi's future. The lessons from his mother, the honesty he practiced, and the patience he learned all built his character. He started to understand that being good inside is more important than being famous or rich. Small towns, small lessons, small actions, they all matter. Soon, Gandhi's curiosity grew. He wanted to know more about the world. He wanted to read books about law, justice, and the lives of other people. He dreamed of traveling, of learning, and of helping more people. This curiosity would lead him far from Porbandar to England and later to South Africa. But for now, he was a boy with small dreams, learning big lessons. We can see a lesson for ourselves. Character begins early. Honesty, patience, kindness, and curiosity are seeds. If we plant them in our lives, they grow into great strength. Gandhi's childhood teaches us that no one starts perfect. Even small actions today can become big lessons for tomorrow. Now, we will follow Gandhi as he grows older, leaving his small town to study in a faraway land. His curiosity and courage will face new challenges, and his lessons from childhood will guide him. Chapter 3. Young Gandhi and Education Abroad. Hello, friends. Welcome to this part of our story. Now, we will see Gandhi as a young man, ready to leave his small town and explore the world. This is an important moment. It shows us how new challenges can help us grow. Today, we will learn about courage, patience, and learning from difficulties. When Gandhi finished his early education, he dreamed of becoming a lawyer. He wanted to study law and help people with justice. But in India, there were few opportunities, so he decided to go to England, a faraway country. He was only a young man, and the journey was long and difficult. Leaving Porbandar was not easy. He said goodbye to his family, to his friends, and to the familiar streets. The sea looked large and endless. Gandhi felt nervous. He wondered if he would succeed. He worried about being far from home, but he also felt excited. England was a new world, full of ideas, books, and possibilities. This was his chance to learn and grow. In England, everything was different. The streets were wide, the buildings were tall, and the people spoke in a language he was still learning. The food was strange, the weather was cold, and the customs were confusing. Gandhi tried to follow the rules, but sometimes he felt lost. He missed his mother's cooking, the warm sun of India, and the simple life of Porbandar. At first, Gandhi struggled in his studies. The English language was difficult, and the law books were long and complicated. Sometimes he could not understand the lectures. He felt small and unsure. One day he wanted to speak in class, but he was afraid. His pronunciation was not perfect, and other students laughed quietly. Gandhi felt embarrassed. He wanted to quit. But then he remembered the lessons from his mother. Honesty and patience, she had said, are important. He told himself, I must try. I must not give up. Slowly, he practiced speaking English every day. He read books carefully. He wrote sentences and corrected mistakes. Step by step, he improved. He learned that struggles are part of learning, and challenges are part of growth. Gandhi also learned about English customs. He wore Western clothes, attended formal dinners, and followed new rules. At first, it felt strange. He missed his simple Indian clothes and the familiar ways of his home. But he did not give up. He adapted, learned, and kept his values. He learned to be flexible without losing himself. During this time, Gandhi also met people from different countries. Some were kind and helpful. Others were distant and judgmental. He noticed how people treated each other differently in England. Some were polite, some were unfair. These experiences made him curious about fairness, justice, and human behavior. He started asking questions like, why do people treat each other this way? What is right and wrong? By the end of his studies, Gandhi became more confident. He passed his exams and became a lawyer. But his journey was more than education. It was a lesson in patience, courage, and self-discipline. He had learned that leaving home is not easy. Learning a new language is not easy. Living in a strange culture is not easy. But every difficulty helped him grow stronger. Soon, Gandhi would face new challenges, even greater than learning English. His first experiences with injustice awaited him. In South Africa, he would see discrimination, unfair laws, and suffering. But he would also discover the power of patience, honesty, and courage. The lessons from his childhood and his time in England would guide him. This part of Gandhi's life teaches us something important. Challenges are not obstacles. They are opportunities. Every difficulty, every mistake, and every fear can help us grow. Just like Gandhi, we can face new situations with courage. We can learn, adapt, and become stronger. Next, we will follow Gandhi to South Africa, where he will meet real injustice for the first time. We will see how he begins to fight for fairness and how his early lessons continue to guide him. Chapter 4. Gandhi in South Africa. Hello, friends. Welcome back. Now, we will follow Gandhi to a new land, South Africa. This is where his journey of courage and justice truly begins. Today, we will see how a young lawyer faced unfair treatment and how small acts of courage can grow into great change. After finishing his studies in England, Gandhi returned to India. He wanted to work as a lawyer. At first, life was normal. He had small cases. he helped people, and he learned more about law. But one day, he received an unusual offer. A company in South Africa asked him to work for them. South Africa was far away, with different people, different laws, and different problems. Gandhi decided to go. He wanted experience, and he wanted to help people. At first, life in South Africa was exciting. The cities were large, with busy streets and many people. Gandhi met Indians, Europeans, and Africans. He had work, friends, and a place to stay. But soon he noticed a serious problem. Indians and black people were treated unfairly. They could not sit in certain train cars, use certain hotels, or vote in elections. Many laws were unfair. Europeans had power. Others had no rights. Gandhi saw these injustices and felt uneasy. He thought, I could ignore these problems. I could work quietly and live a normal life. It would have been easier. He could have kept his job, avoided trouble, and lived without worry. Many people chose this path, but Gandhi could not. He believed it was wrong to stay silent. He wanted to fight for fairness. One small incident shows his courage. Gandhi was traveling by train. He had a ticket for a first-class seat, but the train conductor told him to move to the third-class car. Gandhi refused politely. He said, I paid for this seat. It is my right. The conductor called the police. Gandhi was thrown off the train. He stood alone on the platform, feeling cold, tired, and angry. But he did not give up. This moment taught him something important. Courage begins with small steps. Another time, Gandhi wanted to stay in a hotel. The hotel manager refused him because of his skin color. Gandhi could have left quietly, but he decided to speak up. He asked for his rights, explained calmly, and tried to find fairness. Many people laughed at him. Some were angry, but Gandhi kept his calm. He realized that standing up for justice is not easy, but it is necessary. Small actions, repeated over time, can create change. Gandhi also helped Indians with legal problems. Many workers were forced to pay unfair taxes or follow unfair rules. Gandhi listened to their stories. He wrote letters, gave advice, and sometimes went to court. He did not have to do this. It was not his job. But he chose to act. Every small step, every small effort built trust and hope among the people. They started to look at him as a leader. In South Africa, Gandhi began to think about how to fight injustice without violence. He remembered the lessons from his childhood: honesty, patience, and self-control. He realized that shouting or fighting would not solve the problem. There had to be a better way. He started reading, studying, and planning. He wanted to show that courage and peace can work together. This period in Gandhi's life teaches us something powerful. We do not need to be kings or powerful people to make a difference. Courage can start with small actions: saying no to unfair treatment, helping a friend, standing up for what is right. These are the first steps toward change. Gandhi's courage in South Africa was quiet at first. He was not a famous leader yet, but each small act of fairness grew into something bigger. Even today, we can learn from this. When we face unfairness at school, work, or in life, we can choose courage. We can choose honesty and patience. We can take small steps to help ourselves and others. Gandhi teaches us that no act is too small when it is done with heart and purpose. Soon, Gandhi would discover a method to fight injustice that would change the world: satyagraha, or nonviolent resistance. This idea grew from his experiences in South Africa. From small incidents, like the train and the hotel, to helping workers and communities, He learned how to act with courage, honesty, and peace. These lessons would guide him for the rest of his life. Next, we will see how Gandhi created Satyagraha. We will see how he led people without violence and how his quiet courage became powerful. The journey of courage continues, and the small steps he took in South Africa were just the beginning of something amazing. Chapter 5. The Birth of Satyagraha. Hello, friends. Welcome to this part of Gandhi's story. Now we will learn about something very important, Satyagraha. Satyagraha means truth force or non-violent resistance. This was Gandhi's special idea, a way to fight injustice without using anger or violence. Today we will see how a quiet and calm approach can create big changes. In South Africa, Gandhi met many workers who were treated unfairly. They worked long hours for little pay. Some companies forced them to follow strict rules that were not fair. The workers felt afraid. They did not know what to do. They could protest with anger, but that would lead to fights or arrests. Many people thought violence was the only way to change things. Gandhi thought differently. He said, "We will fight, but we will not hurt anyone. We will show the truth, and we will stand peacefully." The workers were not sure at first. They wondered, can we really change things without fighting? Can calmness win against power? Gandhi smiled and said, "Yes. Courage and truth are stronger than fear and violence." One story shows how Satyagraha worked. A group of Indian workers were asked to pay a new tax that was unfair. They could not afford it. Some people said, "Run away, pay secretly, or fight." Gandhi gathered the workers and said, "We will not pay, but we will not fight. We will stay calm. We will show that the rule is wrong." The workers followed Gandhi's instructions. They sat quietly with calm faces. They refused to pay the tax, but they did not argue or shout. The police came to control them. Some expected violence. But Gandhi and the workers stayed peaceful. They did not hit, push, or shout. People around them started to notice. Some Europeans were surprised. Others respected their courage. Day by day, the peaceful protest grew. More workers joined. The calmness of the group made the message clear. The law was unfair. Violence was not needed to show the truth. Slowly, the authorities realized that they could not defeat this courage. They had to change the rule. Gandhi's calmness was powerful. He did not use anger. He did not insult anyone. Instead, he showed strength through patience, honesty, and moral courage. People started to trust him. They believed in him because he did not lie, cheat, or fight. He became a leader not through power or weapons, but through truth and peace. This story shows an important lesson for all of us. Change is possible without anger. Problems do not always need shouting or fighting. When we face unfair situations, we can act with honesty, patience, and calm. Courage is not loud. Courage can be quiet, but very strong. Gandhi's Satyagraha proved that peaceful actions can inspire many people. Satyagraha was not just for workers. Gandhi used it in schools, in communities, and in streets. He taught people that nonviolence is a way to show truth. It is a method to resist unfair rules while keeping dignity and respect. Small actions, like sitting peacefully or refusing unfair orders, became a powerful tool. Through Satyagraha, Gandhi also taught people to control their minds and emotions. He said, "Do not let anger control you. Anger makes people weak. Calmness and truth make people strong." Workers learned to smile in difficult times, to help each other, and to stand together. Their unity became their strength. Soon, the idea of satyagraha spread beyond the workers and the cities of South Africa. People started to understand that justice does not need violence. Gandhi's method became famous. Others wanted to follow his example. His calm courage inspired hope. He showed that ordinary people without weapons or armies could create change. This lesson prepared Gandhi for his next challenge, returning to India. There he would face even bigger struggles. British rule was strong and people suffered in many ways. But the ideas he developed in South Africa, the lessons of patience, honesty, and peaceful courage, would guide him. Gandhi's satyagraha would soon grow into a movement that changed a nation. Next, we will follow Gandhi as he returns to India. We will see how he begins campaigns against injustice, how ordinary people join him, and how small acts of courage can grow into a powerful movement. The journey continues, and the power of peaceful protest will inspire millions. Chapter 6. Return to India and Early Struggles. Hello, friends. Welcome back. Now, we will follow Gandhi as he returns to India, the land of his birth. This is a very important chapter in his life. Here, we will see how small actions can grow into something powerful, and how courage and hope can overcome fear and doubt. After many years in South Africa, Gandhi returned to India. He had learned many lessons about justice, fairness, and non-violent resistance. He was now ready to help his own people. But India was very different from South Africa. The British ruled the country. Many people were poor. Many suffered from unfair taxes, laws, and rules. Some Indians were afraid to speak up. Others were unsure if change was even possible. Gandhi knew the challenge would be big. Some people told him, "You cannot fight the British. They are too strong. You are only one man." Others said, "Do not waste your time. Life is hard. Leave things as they are." Gandhi could have listened to them. He could have stayed quiet. But he remembered the lessons from his childhood and South Africa. Courage begins with small steps. Hope can grow even in hard times. Soon, Gandhi started traveling through villages and towns. He wanted to meet people, understand their problems, and teach them about nonviolent protest. He walked long distances every day, sometimes 10 or 20 miles. People were surprised to see a man walking alone, wearing simple clothes, smiling and talking with everyone. He listened to their stories, their worries, and their dreams. In one village, Gandhi met a farmer who had lost most of his crops because of high taxes. The farmer was afraid to complain. He feared the British officers. But Gandhi said, "We will find a way." You are not alone. Together, they wrote letters, spoke to local leaders, and organized meetings with other villagers. This small action gave the farmer courage. It also inspired others to speak up. Not everyone agreed with Gandhi at first. Some people said, "Why risk trouble with the British? Why not stay quiet?" Others were worried about violence or punishment. Gandhi listened to their fears. He understood their doubts, but he encouraged them to take small steps. "We do not need to fight," he said. "We only need to act with truth, patience, and courage." Walking through villages, Gandhi also saw poverty and suffering. Many people did not have enough food or clean water. Children worked in fields instead of going to school. Women had very little freedom. Gandhi did not just speak about justice. He helped people in small ways. He encouraged education, hygiene, and self-respect. These small acts gave people hope and confidence. Gandhi's persistence slowly changed minds. People began to trust him. They saw that one person, acting with honesty and courage, could inspire many others. Ordinary villagers started to organize themselves. They held meetings, spoke to neighbors, and supported each other. Gandhi showed them that small acts of courage could grow into a movement. One story shows his patience and determination. Gandhi planned to meet villagers in a remote area. The journey was long and difficult. Roads were dusty, rains had made paths muddy, and some villagers were afraid to meet him. Gandhi walked for hours, smiling, encouraging people, and speaking kindly. When he arrived, the villagers were amazed. They listened carefully, and slowly they agreed to act together peacefully. This small meeting became the start of a larger campaign. Through these early struggles, Gandhi learned an important lesson. Change does not happen overnight. Fear and doubt are normal. But persistence, hope, and courage can overcome them. One small step, repeated by many people, can become a movement that changes a nation. Gandhi's efforts also began to attract attention from the British authorities. Some officials were worried about his growing influence. Others were confused by his peaceful methods. People in India and abroad started to notice. His message was clear. Injustice can be challenged without anger, and ordinary people can take part in creating change. This period of Gandhi's life sets the stage for his next big campaign, the Salt March. Soon, he would lead thousands of people in a nationwide act of peaceful protest. His simple clothes, small steps, and calm courage would inspire millions. The lessons from his early campaigns, walking long distances, listening to villagers, and taking small acts of courage, would guide this historic movement. Next, we will follow Gandhi as he leads the Salt March. We will see how ordinary people join together, how peaceful protest becomes powerful, and how one man's determination inspires a whole nation. The journey continues, and the power of small acts of courage will grow even stronger. Chapter 7. The Salt March and Civil Disobedience. Hello friends, welcome back. Now, we will see one of the most famous events in Gandhi's life, the Salt March of 1930. This was a turning point in India's struggle for independence. Today, we will learn how ordinary people, united and peaceful, can challenge great power. We will also practice English words about marches, protests, and peaceful action. In 1930, the British government controlled India. They made strict laws, including a tax on salt. Salt is very simple, and everyone needs it to eat. But the British made it illegal to collect or make salt without paying them. Ordinary Indians, poor farmers and workers, were forced to pay extra for this simple necessity. Gandhi saw this as unfair. He decided to act, but in his special way, without violence. Gandhi announced, "We will break this law peacefully. We will make salt from the sea. We will show the world that injustice can be resisted with courage, truth, and calm." People were surprised. How could ordinary men and women without weapons challenge the British Empire? Some were afraid, some were excited, many were inspired. The Salt March began on March 1st, 1930. Gandhi walked from his ashram in Sabarmati to the coastal village of Dandi. The journey was about 240 miles. He did not ride in a car. He walked, wearing simple clothes and carrying a small stick. Day by day, more people joined him. Villagers, farmers, students, and workers walked alongside him. Families brought food. Children ran behind him. Everyone was united in hope. During the march, Gandhi taught people important words in English: march, protest, law, peace, unity. He explained, when we march together, we show courage. When we protest peacefully, we show strength. We obey truth, not anger. People repeated these words. They learned to speak them with confidence, practicing English while understanding the lesson of nonviolent resistance. The British officials watched the march with worry. They had soldiers, weapons, and power. They thought the march would fail. They expected fights and chaos. But Gandhi and the people remained calm. They did not shout or attack. They smiled, sang songs, and walked peacefully. This was the contrast: great power versus simple, united people. Power alone could not defeat truth and courage. Many people felt fear during the march. Soldiers shouted. Some protesters were arrested. The road was long, the sun was hot, and hunger was a problem. But hope was stronger than fear. People encouraged each other. Gandhi said, "Do not be afraid. Stand together. Calmness and unity are our strength." With every step, the crowd grew larger. Ordinary people began to believe that change was possible. When Gandhi reached the sea at Dandi, he picked up a small amount of salt from the shore. This simple act was powerful. Newspapers around the world reported it. People in India and abroad understood the message. Injustice can be resisted without violence. Farmers, workers, and villagers began to make salt themselves, following Gandhi's example. This was civil disobedience in action, breaking an unfair law, but peacefully. The Salt March taught many lessons. Courage begins with small steps. Unity is powerful. Fear can be overcome with hope and patience. Gandhi showed that ordinary people could challenge unfair systems without anger or weapons. This was not only a political act, but a lesson in moral strength. The march also influenced global thinking. Leaders and people around the world saw that nonviolence could achieve real change. Gandhi's approach inspired future movements for civil rights, equality, and justice. Words like protest peacefully, stand together, and resist injustice became symbols of hope. Through the Salt March, Gandhi showed that persistence matters. One step after another, united people can create a movement that changes history. Ordinary citizens became heroes, not with swords or guns, but with courage, truth, and peace. Gandhi's message spread across India and across the world. Next, we will learn about Gandhi's philosophy and daily life lessons. We will see how truth, nonviolence, simplicity, and self-discipline guided him, and how we can apply these lessons in our own lives, even while learning English. The journey continues, and the power of calm courage will inspire millions more. Chapter 8. Gandhi's Philosophy and Life Lessons. Hello, friends. Welcome back. Now, we will explore Gandhi's philosophy and life lessons. This is the heart of his story. Not only was he a leader in politics, but he also lived by principles that guide us in daily life. Today, we will learn about truth, nonviolence, simplicity, and self-discipline. We will see how small habits can make a big difference in ourselves and in the world. Gandhi believed in truth. He said, "Truth is my God." This meant always being honest, in words and in actions. He did not lie, cheat, or hide things. Even small actions mattered. For example, when he worked in the ashram, he made sure everyone followed honest practices. If someone forgot to clean their plate or threw away food carelessly, Gandhi would gently remind them. Truth begins with small habits. Nonviolence was another key principle. Gandhi said, "Nonviolence is the greatest force at the disposal of mankind." He believed hurting others was never the solution. Even when faced with unfair treatment or anger, he stayed calm. For example, if someone insulted him, he would respond with patience. If someone tried to attack him, he would not fight back. This did not make him weak. It made him strong. People admired his courage. Simplicity was part of Gandhi's daily life. He wore simple clothes, ate simple food, and lived in a small ashram. He believed that life is happier when we need less. He spun his own cloth, grew his own food, and shared everything with the community. This was very different from selfishness or greed. Instead of seeking luxury, Gandhi focused on purpose and helping others. Self-discipline guided his routines. Gandhi woke up early, prayed, meditated, and planned his day carefully. He worked on social projects, helped villagers, and practiced exercises for health. He controlled his desires and avoided unnecessary pleasures. By doing this, he became a strong, focused person. His daily habits built courage, patience, and clarity of mind. One day, Gandhi walked through the village and saw children arguing over food. Some were selfish, taking more than they needed. Gandhi smiled and said, "Life is happier when we share. Compassion is stronger than greed." The children learned that small acts of kindness create harmony. Gandhi showed that personal habits, like honesty, patience, and compassion, affect everyone around us. Another example is his diet. Gandhi ate simple food, mostly fruits, vegetables, and grains. He avoided extra spices or rich meals. Some people laughed and said, "Why live so simply?" Gandhi replied, "Simplicity is freedom. It helps me think clearly and serve others better." By controlling his needs, he focused on important work, like helping villagers and leading campaigns for justice. Community work was also part of his philosophy. Gandhi helped clean streets, educate children, and support the poor. He believed service is not for fame, it is a duty. When people saw him working with his hands, they were inspired. They realized that leadership is not only about words, but also about actions. Small acts of service can create big changes. This philosophy contrasts sharply with selfishness and anger. Many people live chasing money, power, or comfort. They ignore the needs of others. Gandhi showed a different path. Life with compassion, purpose, and discipline brings inner peace and inspires the world. Small choices every day, like honesty, kindness, and patience, can change communities and even nations. Through these lessons, Gandhi also influenced politics. His principles guided campaigns, protests, and movements. Truth and nonviolence became tools to fight injustice. Simplicity and self-discipline helped him stay strong during long marches, imprisonments, and challenges. His personal habits were not private. They shaped the history of India. By learning from Gandhi's philosophy, we can improve our own lives. Even small actions, like helping a friend, speaking kindly, or being honest, can make the world better. Daily routines, self-control, and compassion are powerful. Gandhi's life teaches us that change starts from within. Next, we will see Gandhi's political influence grow. We will follow his major campaigns, his leadership during India's fight for independence, and the challenges he faced. His philosophy will guide him, and we will see how ordinary people join together to create extraordinary change. Chapter 9. Struggles, Imprisonment, and Sacrifice. Hello, friends. Welcome back. Now, we will explore a very difficult but inspiring part of Gandhi's life: his struggles, imprisonment, and personal sacrifice. This is where courage, patience, and hope are tested. Today, we will learn how standing up for justice often comes with challenges and how sacrifices can lead to meaningful change. As Gandhi's campaigns grew, the British government became worried. They did not like people challenging their power. Gandhi and his followers were seen as a threat. Many leaders were arrested. Gandhi himself was imprisoned several times. Being in jail was not easy. The cells were small, uncomfortable, and crowded. Food was simple, sometimes scarce. Days were long and quiet, with little to do except think and reflect. At first, imprisonment was frightening. Gandhi missed his family, his home, and the freedom to walk through villages. He wrote letters to his supporters and friends. Some letters were full of hope. Others showed his doubts. He wondered if his efforts were enough. He questioned whether ordinary people could change such a powerful empire. But he always returned to his principles: truth, nonviolence, and patience. One story tells of Gandhi during his first imprisonment in 1922. He had been leading a protest against unfair taxes and land rules. The British arrested him, and many expected him to give up. In the jail cell, Gandhi spent hours meditating and writing. He reminded himself, comfort is temporary. Justice is eternal. Sacrifice is the path to change. These words gave him strength. While in prison, Gandhi also received letters from supporters all over India. Children, farmers, and workers wrote, thanking him for his courage. They shared their own stories of small acts of protest, inspired by Gandhi. These letters were precious. They reminded him that he was not alone. Ordinary people, taking small actions together, could create a great movement. Gandhi's sacrifices were not only about prison. He gave up luxury, comfort, and personal freedom. He wore simple clothes, ate simple food, and slept on the floor. He often went on long fasts to protest injustice or to inspire reflection. These sacrifices were difficult, and many worried for his health. But Gandhi believed that personal suffering could show others the importance of truth and justice. Even in moments of doubt, Gandhi never lost hope. There were days when he felt tired, weak, or frustrated. Some protests did not succeed. Some supporters were scared or angry. Gandhi knew that change is slow. He reminded himself, the road is long. The goal is great. Small steps every day will lead us forward. This mindset helped him continue, despite hardship. His sacrifices also inspired ordinary people. Villagers, workers, and students began to stand up, even when they were afraid. They saw Gandhi's courage and thought, if he can give up comfort for justice, we can do something too. This created a wave of unity across India. Small sacrifices multiplied into a powerful movement. One emotional story comes from a young supporter who visited Gandhi in prison. The boy asked, "Sir, how can we be brave like you?" Gandhi smiled and said, "Bravery is not the absence of fear. Bravery is acting with truth, even when you are afraid." The boy left with hope, ready to act in his own small ways. These struggles and sacrifices taught a crucial lesson. Meaningful change requires effort, patience, and sometimes personal discomfort. Gandhi showed that comfort and safety are easy, but standing up for justice is noble. Sacrifices are part of creating a better world. They inspire others and strengthen movements. Through imprisonment and challenges, Gandhi's influence continued to grow. His calm courage, honesty, and self-discipline became examples for millions. Ordinary people began to believe that India could be free. They learned that personal sacrifices, when combined with patience and unity, can move nations. Next, we will see the final years of Gandhi's life and the moment of India's independence. We will witness how his lifelong lessons, truth, nonviolence, and courage shaped a nation and inspired the world. The journey of hope and persistence continues, showing us that ordinary people can achieve extraordinary change. Chapter 10. India's Independence and Gandhi's Legacy. Hello, friends. Welcome to the final part of Gandhi's story. Now we will see the moment he had worked for all his life, India gaining independence. This is a story of hope, courage, and patience. We will also learn that lasting change comes from moral strength, not anger. In 1947, after many years of struggle, India became free from British rule. The British had ruled for hundreds of years, and their laws and power had shaped the lives of millions. People were used to fear, taxes, and restrictions. The journey to freedom was not easy. Many had suffered, worked hard, and faced imprisonment. Gandhi's calm courage had guided this long struggle. The celebrations began when the news spread. People gathered in villages, towns, and cities. Flags waved in the wind. Songs of joy filled the air. Children laughed, and families hugged each other. Gandhi's followers wept with happiness. Tears were not only for joy, but also for the pain and sacrifices of the years before. People remembered the long marches, the imprisonments, and the struggles for justice. Freedom had finally arrived. Even during celebrations, Gandhi reminded people to stay peaceful. He said, "Freedom is not only leaving rulers. Freedom is living with truth, nonviolence, and justice." Some were angry at past oppressors. Some wanted revenge. Gandhi encouraged forgiveness and calm. He showed that peace and moral courage were as important as political freedom. The contrast was clear. British rule had brought laws, control, and sometimes fear. Gandhi's movement brought hope, unity, and courage. Instead of weapons and war, ordinary people used truth, patience, and nonviolence. Millions of Indians, from farmers to students, participated in campaigns and protests. The power of calm courage had changed a nation. Independence also brought challenges. India was a huge country with many religions, languages, and traditions. Some areas faced disagreements and even violence. Gandhi worked to calm tensions. He encouraged dialogue, understanding, and compassion. He knew that freedom is not only political, it is also moral and social. The lessons of nonviolence and unity were needed to build a strong country. Even after independence, Gandhi continued to live simply. He walked among villagers, taught children, and helped the poor. He reminded everyone that lasting change starts from within. Personal habits, honesty, and self-discipline matter. Leaders and citizens alike needed to practice patience and moral courage to create a fair society. Gandhi's ideas spread beyond India. People around the world saw that ordinary citizens could change history without violence. Leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. in the United States and Nelson Mandela in South Africa studied his methods. They applied nonviolent resistance to fight for civil rights and justice. Gandhi became not only India's father of the nation, but a global symbol of hope and courage. Stories from independence show Gandhi's humility and wisdom. When people offered him honors, he often refused. He said, "I do not need recognition." Service to others is the greatest reward. His focus was always on the people, not on himself. This lesson inspired generations to come. True leadership is about helping others, not gaining power. The independence of India also teaches an important lesson for all of us. Lasting change comes from moral courage, patience, and unity. Quick anger or violence may seem powerful, but it does not create enduring freedom or trust. Gandhi showed that small, consistent acts of truth, compassion, and nonviolence can transform communities, nations, and even the world. Even today, Gandhi's legacy lives on. People continue to study his words, follow his methods, and practice his philosophy. Schools teach children about his life. Leaders around the world speak of his courage. Ordinary people like you and me can apply his lessons in daily life, being honest, helping others, and standing up for what is right. As we conclude, let us remember the journey of a simple man from Porbandar. From a young boy learning patience and honesty, to a student abroad facing challenges, to a leader inspiring millions, Gandhi's life shows that anyone can make a difference. His story teaches us that courage, hope, and moral strength matter more than power or wealth. Friends, the life of Gandhi reminds us that our actions, even small ones, can grow into something extraordinary. Every honest word, every act of kindness, every step toward justice contributes to a better world. Let us take inspiration from his journey and apply these lessons in our own lives. Step by step, with patience, unity, and truth, we can make a difference. Chapter 11. Conclusion. The Man Who Changed the World. Hello, friends. Welcome to the final chapter of Gandhi's story. Now, we reflect on his life as a journey from a small boy in Porbandar to a man who changed the world. This is a story about courage, patience, and simple choices that create extraordinary results. Today, we will see how even small actions in our own lives, including learning English, can make a big difference. Gandhi was not born a hero. He was a quiet, ordinary boy. He went to school, learned from his parents, and faced normal challenges like all children. He made mistakes, felt fear, and sometimes doubted himself. But he learned important lessons early: honesty, patience, and compassion. These simple habits shaped his character. They guided him when he faced bigger challenges as a young man, a student, and later as a leader. The ordinary moments of life, helping a neighbor, listening carefully, keeping promises, became the foundation of extraordinary courage. Gandhi showed that greatness does not come from wealth, fame, or power. It comes from moral strength, persistence, and small, consistent actions. Every step he took, even the quiet ones, built a path toward freedom and justice. As a student abroad, Gandhi faced loneliness, homesickness, and cultural challenges. Many would have given up, but he kept learning, observing, and improving. He practiced patience and courage in small ways. This taught him that challenges are opportunities to grow. Later, these lessons helped him face injustice in South Africa and India. Every small decision, every effort to act with truth, shaped his future. In South Africa, Gandhi faced unfair laws and racial discrimination. He chose nonviolent resistance, a path few people understood. He inspired ordinary workers to stand together peacefully. Step by step, protest by protest, they showed that courage does not need weapons. The simple act of standing together, speaking truthfully, and remaining calm created a powerful movement. From small acts of courage, big change began. When Gandhi returned to India, his leadership grew. Walking through villages, listening to people, and helping them understand nonviolence, he built trust and unity. Small actions, like walking miles to meet villagers, helping the poor, and sharing simple meals, inspired millions. Ordinary citizens joined together, and the movement for independence became unstoppable. Gandhi showed that leadership is about service, not control. The Salt March of 1930 demonstrated that peaceful action can challenge great power. Thousands of people joined Gandhi, walking miles to collect salt from the sea. They faced fear, hunger, and uncertainty, yet their unity and calm courage inspired the nation. Gandhi's message was clear: change is possible through persistence, truth, and moral strength. Even small steps can create waves of transformation. Gandhi also taught us the power of personal life and philosophy. Truth, nonviolence, simplicity, and self-discipline were not only tools for political struggle. They were daily habits that shaped character. He showed that the way we live our lives, even in small ways, affects the people and world around us. Acts of kindness, honesty, and service are powerful. They grow beyond ourselves and create lasting impact. Even in struggles and imprisonment, Gandhi remained hopeful. Letters from supporters, stories of courage, and his own reflection kept him strong. He accepted hardship as part of the journey. He taught that sacrifices are natural when standing for justice. Ordinary people, by acting with honesty, patience, and courage, become extraordinary. Gandhi's life proves that moral strength can move nations. When India gained independence in 1947, the world saw the results of persistent, peaceful courage. Millions celebrated, tears were shed for hardships and joy, and a nation was free. Gandhi's methods became lessons for future leaders around the world. Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, and many others learned from his life. His ideas continued to inspire global movements for justice and peace. Friends, Gandhi's story is not only history, it is a lesson for all of us. Even in small, ordinary moments, helping a friend, speaking kindly, practicing honesty, or learning English, our choices matter. Every small step toward improvement, learning, or kindness can grow into something extraordinary. Courage, patience, and moral strength can guide us in life and in learning. So, as we finish this story, remember, you do not need to be famous or powerful to make a difference. Like Gandhi, start with small, meaningful actions. Be honest, be kind, stay patient, and never lose hope. Step by step, your choices can inspire others and create change. You have the power to impact your world, just as Gandhi did. Thank you, friends, for following this journey. Keep learning, keep practicing English, and keep applying these life lessons every day. Remember, ordinary people can do extraordinary things. Let Gandhi's life inspire your courage, hope, and persistence. Your small actions matter. Your voice matters. And with patience, unity, and truth, you can change the world, one step at a time.